Hello.
How's it
How are
going?
you? What's going on?
Good.
Welcome back to BVB. Good to see you. Nice hat.
Yes, I thought I would represent the time that we all met. Special time.
It was a very special time. It was one of our most viewed shows ever when you popped on with us from Circa. You liked it so much, Smalls, you came back multiple times. What are you doing? Are you coming back to Vegas anytime soon?
I don't know. I think maybe relocating out there might be in the potential list of things that could happen. Not going to say too much, but
Grand Rapids to Las Vegas. Okay, we're going from small, mild wings to atomic spicy. Like we're going to a whole different world here.
Yeah. Wait till my dad hears that one. That's gonna be the kicker.
Oh boy, I'm not getting involved with that one. Are you wearing the boots by any chance right now? A lot of people are asking
wearing the boots right now.
Okay.
What boots?
Don't do free foot videos either, so I won't show you my feet right now.
The white. Are we asking about the white boots? People are that interested in the white boots?
Oh yeah,
wow.
People love the boots.
Boy, people
love
are odd.
The boots.
They do like.
People
like us. All right, Giants tonight. You're a Giants fan. You have basically poured, the cement over the casket here. Like we're not even giving them a shot. No, Giants can't win tonight in your mind.
No. I mean, we've seen crazier things on a Thursday night. It's maybe that benefits them in some way, but you don't have Andrew Thomas. You don't have Saquon. Worried about that with pass protection more than even because you're not going to be able to run the ball against the San Francisco defense anyways. It's going to be a long night. The nice thing is, if we want to find a silver lining, is week 1 was the worst game of my life. So nothing can get worse. So you just, the expectations are low and you just go into it hoping that Danny doesn't leave, he doesn't get hurt and he stays upright.
I wasn't even going to bring up week 1. I felt bad, at some point, how bad that actually got.
I had to rip the Band-Aid because, it's a trigger when other people bring it up. So I just got to go right for it. Monday, that Sunday Night Football game sucked.
Well, thank goodness they came back and beat the Cardinals. Otherwise, that would have been just as bad. Things not looking good for Big Blue. You're in the East Coast. It's a Thursday night game, okay? It kicks off at 8:15 Eastern.
Yeah.
It might get ugly. It might get bad. Are you going to be awake when the clock says 0-0-0 tonight, or will you be asleep at halftime?
There's one thing that I know about tonight, and is that I will be well marinated by some high noons to take the edge off. I will not be asleep. I will probably go to sleep unless they're getting blown out. Like last week, that second quarter, there has been few times in my Giants fandom that I actually had to walk away. I literally had to go upstairs. I could not believe what I was watching. Could still hear the TV, so I didn't exactly turn it off. But yeah, hopefully tonight I can watch the game. All I want is that just don't fucking suck. I'm not asking for a lot. Just don't suck. I don't know, air the ball out. Have a couple design plays for Danny. Evan Neal, please. I'm begging you to just try your best. Nick Bosa is gonna absolutely destroy him tonight.
Oh, no.
All right, Steph, we were DMing and talking about when we were booking you for the show. You said you were staying up to 5:30 in the morning, searching out props for this game tonight, trying to find some value on some players.
Please.
Did you find any at 5:30 in the morning? Did you find a play for tonight?
It's funny because I went down this spiral, trying to look at every time the Giants have been double-digit dogs for the past 10 years, as if I was going to find something that mattered. None of those trends even. I mean, you can look at last year; they covered both of those spreads. This number stinks. I am staying away from betting any Giants player props. Well, I think there is a little bit of value still there. Looking at actually, the Giants players I'm staying away from. I'm not even going to jinx myself on the show. I do like quite a few of the San Francisco props. Deebo Samuel's over 12.5 rushing yards. I think Deebo gets heavily involved. I also think we might see a Kittle night. I know he's been very quiet. Looking at his receptions, Purdy's rushing yards, 7.5. He could do that in literally just one takeoff. What else do I got? I am betting Purdy to throw an interception because it's been too long. The Giants haven't defense hasn't got one since week 18. And Purdy hasn't thrown one since week 16. So it just feels like it's there. The trend's got to come to an end, right? I got to have something to look forward to because the defense is going to have to come up if they want to stay in this game.
How do you feel about Daniel Jones over 7.5 rushing attempts? It was plus money last night when I got it. I couldn't believe it because he's gone over this number in the first 2 games, and they put it at 7.5 against a defense that, well, the Giants don't have a running back. So isn't your best running back your quarterback?
Yeah, I like it quite a bit. I know his rush yards alone opened at like 35.5. I think Matthew Stafford had like 17 or something last week. I mean, if Matthew Stafford can get 17, I feel pretty confident that Danny, I think we're going to see kind of like we did last week where he has to put the team on his back. And a lot of that comes with him using his mobility, taking off. Hopefully, again, like I said, scheme things up. I also really like his overpassing attempts. Again, not betting it, 31.5. You can't run the ball against this team. You're going to have to throw the ball. And that number, teams have found success against San Francisco throwing the ball. You can't run the ball, but they have found some success there throwing the ball.
I got to personally watch the Niners dismantle the Steelers in Pittsburgh in week 1, and they couldn't do anything. And it got ugly quick, and it ended up being a snooze fest. Now, the strength of this show is we've got a lot of guys that like to provide information in the chat. Eli Manning and Ron Dane ain't walking through that door tonight. Danny Dimes is 0-4 straight up on Thursday. I know you know this, Smalls. I know. I'm just
stop it. I know this.
Oh my God.
You're being mean.
I know. How do you think this plays out to the total tonight? Can we get this game over, or is this a dead under?
The delusion, the Delulu part of me thinks that this game could go under and we could get like a classic Thursday night football. But then at the same time, how do you trust this Giants team after what happened in the last 2 games going against one of the best teams and one of the worst teams and seeing what the outcomes were? And, what did it was 60-0 through 6 quarters, the Giants? What is that? What the hell are we doing? I mean, are you trying to do anything? What are we doing here? So I think that, San Francisco is going to be able to score a lot. So I personally stay away from it because we know Thursday night football, I tend to do that, stay away from the total. But, if I had to lean, I'd go the under.
All right. So someone in my DM is asking this question. Can you explain why you keep on saying horny for corny? Why is this? What? He wants to know why are these 2 words so difficult to separate?
Get my listening glass.
I said corny. I swear I said corny. I don't know. It was the biggest slip up. I haven't been in the industry that long. I haven't been doing content that long, but this is my first real slip up. I didn't notice. You can tell how unfazed I am in the show, but I was talking about Tutu Atwell and how they scheme up plays for him. And I got chills for some reason. I don't know why. I'm just a weirdo. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I got chills. I'm so corny. But everyone heard horny.
Oh,
say horny.
C and an H.
Mm-hmm.
It
sounds like horny listening to it back. Yeah,
it does.
But she also started it by saying, let's talk about effing Tutu Atwell. Mm-hmm. So if you phrasing matters and commas really matter because where you put that F word kind of means two different things.
Yeah. Me and Patrick Mahomes are struggling with the commas these days.
Smalls, you put on you mark up any bookmarks this week? Anything that came out with NFL, either from the first 2 weeks or anybody out in the space?
I can tell you what I got in my.
I'm just saying you don't have to tell us anything. You can tell us whatever you want, but I know you're keeping track of a lot of stuff. And
the bookmarks. That was it. Yeah, that was.
I am quite the list here.
Oh,
I wonder if
anything.
Some of these I gotta save. We can't.
You can't. Yeah, don't divulge anything.
We gotta save some of these. Gotta save some of these. Good stuff though. God, some funny stuff to come. Yes, keep an eye out for me when I go back and go through them all. It was nice to hit back on some people that said we were going to lose to the Cardinals or 0-17. I know I said halfway through that game that I was going to bet them 0-17, but I was joking and I'm allowed to say it.
Are you still under though? I mean, like season wins so far. You told us when you were here before the season, that you probably were, season wins under.
Yeah.
Any encouragement yet? I mean, Washington's 2-0, Dallas is 2-0.
Yeah, I know.
The Eagles are 2-0. I hate to bring it up, but
it's so funny how now the NFC is actually the harder conference and it's not the AFC. And we constantly heard this nonstop, but 3 of the best teams in the league are quite literally in the NFC. I will say this, the number came down to 6.5. If we lose this game, we lose next week. I mean, it doesn't get easier. You got to go back home, Seattle. Then you have to go to Miami, go to Bills. It's not pretty. I mean, the schedule isn't great. The nice thing is there's a really long stretch where you're at home at the end of that season. Like 7 wins, if they can turn around and play like they did in the second half, I'm still cool with that. If that number comes to 5.5, I'm going to take the over.
All right, I'm trying to find the picture, and I can't find the picture because you may have deleted it because you may need to delete it. When you left Vegas, your suitcase, the picture that you put caused me to literally have like an ADD breakdown. Like I could my type A personality needing to have things in a very structured way. I can't find the picture, but imagine like just an absolute like a bowl of spaghetti, and that's what it looked like if there were clothes and shoes and hair and things and everything. How did you get that home, and how long did it take you to unpack that?
So I told you guys the last time I came on with you that I don't book flights home until I'm ready to go home.
Amazing.
So that day in particular, it was a Monday. I found a flight. I had to get to the airport in I cut it real close there because I wanted to get back for Monday Night Football, and I was only going to have an hour to spare when I landed. So I was like, everything's got to go, and I picked it up and I just dumped it into the bag. Figure it out when you get home, no problem. Yeah, it was a disaster to unpack though. It was not pretty.
Any trips planned anytime soon, Steph? Not just to Vegas. You got anything planned?
I have freaking stupid weddings. I have a golf tournament this weekend. Then I have 2 weddings.
The damn friends getting married. Screw them.
Gosh, grow up.
But it is sort of. Are they back in New England?
No, they're here at least.
Oh,
who in Michigan's getting married during football season? This is known. Like you just don't do this.
It's lunatics. I don't know.
Wow. Like in the South, that's like pretty much like
I can't even imagine it. Like if they were a Sunday wedding, like I would literally wouldn't be going. And if the rehearsal dinner is on a Thursday, I don't know if I'm gonna make it.
Can't make it.
Yeah, that's a big no-no. I mean, in New England, it happens all the time because they want the foliage and no one cares about football to that level that they would not. Like you told somebody in New England that having your wedding in the fall is really inappropriate or mean, they'd be like, what are you talking about? Like,
yeah. And then they do it on a Sunday because everything's so expensive there. So they get the cheaper days. And
it's absolutely 100% that you do it on Sunday. But in the South, it's like, well, I'm not coming to your wedding, right? Like I met a couple in Alabama who didn't go to their daughter's wedding because she met her husband on the 3rd Saturday in October. That's Alabama, Tennessee. And they told their daughter, if you have your wedding on this day, we're not coming.
Yeah. Originally, we thought that the game, like, I'm not a Michigan or a Michigan State fan, but, that's a big thing here, obviously. Sacrilegious to have a wedding on a Saturday if it's Michigan State. But luckily, it is not that weekend. But they were cutting it close there.
Yeah, it didn't go to their own daughter's wedding, Dave. They just said,
crazy.
Yeah, we're not going.
Respect it, kind of. Like,
that's ridiculous.
They warned her. They told her, hey, if you do this, we're not coming. And she said, well, I'm doing this. And they said, okay, we're not coming. And they went to Bama, Tennessee.
Stephanie, if your dad doesn't come to the wedding, would you be mad? Like if my daughters would disown me if I didn't come to the wedding because it was on a day of a football game.
Yeah, I'd be pissed. But luckily for me, my dad isn't into sports like that. So like it'd be fine. Like he would never do that. Also, I come first. So
yeah, but I mean, if you warn the daughter, don't do this. She does it anyway.
Daughters don't listen.
So that's
Thank you.
That's her problem.
Thank you. That's a big issue right now in the house. I'm gonna have to give him your DMs. Maybe you could tell him. Maybe listen to your dad, please, once in a while.
Yeah.
But you
I'm
don't
gonna
listen
be honest.
to me.
You're screwed for a while. Like it doesn't get better. It honestly doesn't get better. You might as well just like You just don't ask a lot of questions. Keep your head down. When they need you, they need you. You just gotta just let it. You gotta ride it out there.
Poor Dave.
It's gonna be okay. It gets better though.
He's calling you.
He's had a bad week. Dave's had a bad week.
Nobody's listening to me at all.
It's been tough for Dave. He's outnumbered. I'm over there a lot now because of our proxy service, so I get to see how outnumbered he is. It's tough. He's got 4 women that are really not, like 5 that aren't really interested in listening to the thing he has to say
at all.
I feel outnumbered, and I just have a dog that's a girl that doesn't listen to me.
What's the dog's name?
Kaya.
Kaya. How do you spell that?
Kaia.
Pretty. It's nice.
My dad spelled it Kia, and it pisses me off. You gotta figure it out, dude.
Big dog or little dog?
She's like kind of looks like a mini German Shepherd, like 42 pounds. But my dad comes home. He was so excited when we moved back. In brief time that I lasted back in the house, comes back with a New York Giants like tag, and it says KIA. I'm like, Dad, that's a car. What are we doing?
It's a Kia. That's great.
Tried.
So
Dad
cute.
tried.
Tell us how things are going for the Stephanie Smalls show. How are things going for your first new venture here with the showing around?
Yeah, they're going good. I think since the last time I came on here, probably like another 400 subscribers. Very nice. Things are trending in the right direction on a regular schedule, which is very nice. Getting rotating guests in. It's a blast. I'll have to get you guys on at some point. But yeah, working out the kinks, but having a lot of fun with it, trying not to pronounce words wrong. We're gonna use take our time when we're saying things like corny. It kind of sounded like it again. Maybe it's like the way I say the word. Okay, I'm gonna stop saying that word.
All right. So my last thing before I let you go, because we talked about this we do a thing called bonus time when we get off the air. We get off Sirius XM when we get off TV Sports Grid, so we can talk about things that are a little bit R-rated, but it's with you, so it's more fun talking about R-rated stuff. So do you know what a furry is?
I have unfortunately heard about it. Yeah.
So I didn't know this, Dave, and I have not told you this yet either. Dave, I spent 15 minutes at my class with UNLV having this conversation about furries because Dave didn't know what a furry was.
I had no idea.
So we had to explain.
I had no idea.
I didn't know either. And there's there's communities.
Oh yeah.
There's a whole little thing going on.
It's a thing. There's a real
nothing little going on in that. It's a lot of big things going on with that.
Probably a lot of big
but there's a furry group at UNLV.
What?
And so my class went ahead and explained to me how they meet and the way that they get together, and it's a big thing at UNLV, Dave. I had no idea, but the furry group on campus.
Do they wear their outfits to class?
Not to class,
or
but
just the parties, the get-togethers.
They are a sanctioned student group on campus. And so then I asked them, I said, okay, so how many people are part of it? They're like 50. I'm like, of that 50, how many are there for sex? And they said half. And I went, wait. This is going on a college campus that I teach at?
Can you just download Hinge or one of those apps? Why do you have to dress up like an animal? I don't understand.
That's a great question.
I don't get it. I guess it's more like, I can't say anything because I was delusional at 5:30 a.m. not sleeping, thinking the Giants had a chance to win this game. So I get it. We all have our thing. Not sure I get that kink, but
that's
you know
a different
what?
world. Thinking a team's gonna win versus I want to date with a mask on is a whole different.
What is that? I feel like that there's deep-rooted issues there. Therapy sounds a good idea. That's.
Yeah. I was blown away. Spent 15 minutes going, I can't believe the kids were all into it. They're explaining all the different ways that people meet, how they post it. And one girl knew someone who made the costumes. They're $5,000 to make them. They make them by hand.
$5,000?
To make them.
No, what?
And I'm like, wait, then you go defile it that way? I don't know if I'd want that thing to be involved in that type of activity.
Oh my gosh. That is crazy. That is seriously, I am floored.
That is corny and horny at the same time.
Yeah. And furry and whatever is going on. I don't know. I'm nervous about it now. Jeez.
Steph, give the folks the information. Where can they find your show? Where can they watch you?
Sure. You can find all my stuff on Twitter at Stephie Smalls with 3 L's. I recommend following me after the Giants show, unless you want the Giants game, unless you want your timeline to be completely spammed because it's not going to be pretty. And then YouTube, the Stephie Smalls show, and then everything else you just find it on Twitter.
Final score is what?
That's not nice.
19-17. I'll be.
Wait, didn't you just predict a 100-point game?
Wow.
I'm gonna be generous. That's my real. What I think is actually gonna happen is like 103 to
10? 10? Can we get a touchdown tonight?
I need
touchdown
14.
and a field goal
yeah,
from the Giants.
yeah. You gotta
10.
get Hyatt. Gotta get Hyatt just using his speed. Guys, please,
I
someone.
need 14 out of the Giants tonight. If I don't
If
get
we
14,
if we don't score a touchdown, my mental health is gonna be in a dark place.
Yeah.
I might become a furry.
we'll check in with you after the game. Steph, great stuff. Thanks for coming on. Always good to see
Appreciate
you.
you guys. See ya.
Take care.
Bye.